Oh, hi. Welcome back. Can I talk about Twitter with you guys? Like, just talk. Talk about Twitter. I feel like a lot of people talk on Twitter, but not too many people talk about Twitter. Not in a philosophical way. Twitter is a wacky world. And there's this phrase that's been turning through my head a lot recently. Redistribution of reputation. Redistribution of reputation. Reputation redistribution. And the reason why that phrase is stuck in my head is because, not to get too Jungian and psychological in this video, but we, I observe, have a tendency to manifest our beliefs even when we don't have agency over that specific thing. And Twitter's demographic is mainly news, political, media junkies. People that have strong opinions on society, economics, politics. Heck, that's where the power base is. I mean, the real people of power on Twitter are the kind of mediarati, the commentariat. Remember when I got my blue check mark, wore it like a badge of honor, like probably the police do when they first get their police badge. It's just as phony and nonsensical as I'm sure every club or clan is at the end of the day. But you get special privileges and you're treated with deference and your opinions are projected out. But it's all nonsense. Particularly because I feel like the media has such a weight, a gravitational weight to Twitter, and media people, particularly those living in big cities like New York City, where I am, and Los Angeles and DC, generally come from a upper middle class liberal ideology. And with that comes a strong conviction that wealth should be redistributed, particularly extremely wealthy individuals. But often, we don't have the power to do that. Only large governments have the power to redistribute wealth. But what we do have the power, particularly on Twitter, us individuals, or the main users of Twitter, which are spearheaded by journalists, is we do have the power to redistribute reputations. And I find more and more that's what Twitter is used for. That's its primary function. Can you name one individual that built a positive reputation off of Twitter? I can't think of a single person. Now, you could argue Donald Trump built his reputation from Twitter, but did he really build a positive one? On the flip side, many people were able to redistribute some of his reputation to themselves by signaling their opposition to his ideas or to his tweets. In fact, an entire little subculture is developed around specifically responding to Donald Trump's tweets simply to signify and get lots of likes and retweets that they are against our current political establishment. But it goes beyond that. This week, it's a new thing every week, but this week, this will date this video, J.K. Rowling was the #1 trending in the United States. She had spoken in defense of some woman who had an opinion on transgender issues, and she was called a TERF, which is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. Sometimes it's hard to remember all the acronyms, but J.K. Rowling was called a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist, and Vox ran the headline, "Has this ruined Harry Potter forever?" Or something like, "Can we never read another Harry Potter book again?" Question mark. Which is the perfect example of a video I talked about prior called Betteridge's Law of Headlines, meaning you can always answer a headline that has a question mark with the answer no. So Vox runs the headline, "Is this the end of enjoying Harry Potter books?" The answer is no. People continue to love and enjoy Harry Potter. But I use J.K. Rowling because even a figure as loved and celebrated as J.K. Rowling gets obliterated on Twitter. And she's done so, in my personal opinion, through the kind of id, the oversoul of the collective demographic on Twitter that believes in redistribution of assets. And when you cannot get at somebody's wealth, whether it be J.K. Rowling's or Donald Trump's or a senator's or any sort of celebrity that misspeaks, you can get at their reputation. You can fracture it and redistribute it amongst your colleagues and build up your reputation. And the cottage industry on Twitter is that. It revolves around grabbing people that have large reputations, taking a hammer and chisel and splintering away pieces so you can go home with a bigger reputation yourself. And you do it by mining other individuals' reputations. You grow on status on Twitter only through the decline of other individuals. And the best way to make other individuals decline, to suck their reputation towards you, is to signal your opposition, to signal their ignorance and your enlightened ideas. And this is a real problem, particularly because J.K. Rowling notoriously got in a spat with PewDiePie over calling PewDiePie a Nazi sympathizer, and PewDiePie felt unjustly attacked and like his reputation was being torn down the drain. And now the same thing is happening to J.K. Rowling. And I can't help but wonder if we're all better off with Twitter. Yes, there are practical utilities that has become a newswire service, much like the early 1900s. It's where everybody gets their breaking news. It's where everybody posts updated information. And so you can see what's going to be covered in the nightly news or in the next morning's paper if you're following Twitter in the right way. And it has that utility. But its cost for the ordinary user, if they're not careful, or the ordinary successful user, if you're successful outside the media landscape and you wade into the pool, the swamp that is Twitter, you are likely to get your reputation redistributed. The hyenas will prey upon you. Anyway, these are just my personal observations about Twitter. If I would have a child in the digital media era, you know that phrase, look but don't touch? I would tell them, look but don't comment. That would be the aphorism I would tell my children about Twitter. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think Twitter operates like this? That there is a kind of oversoul id, a collective agency of people that believe in redistribution. Because they can't really redistribute wealth or tangible assets, what they do on Twitter, and we all do this, there's something intoxicating about it. But the system, the infrastructure of Twitter incentivizes us to redistribute people's reputations, to take from somebody else's to build up ours. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Just some thoughts on Twitter. Let me know. Just some thoughts on Twitter. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you found this video insightful, maybe consider subscribing if you made it this far. This has not that much to do with journalism or news, but Twitter is such a large part of modern journalism that it's worth deconstructing and thinking about how we use Twitter and how Twitter uses us. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.